Hello friends, Rohini here. Welcome back to my channel. So happy you're here. Thanks for tuning in. Today's video is going to be a very fun one. Third trimester recap. I am 39 weeks pregnant. Let me show you. Bump. Yes, I'm 39 weeks pregnant and I wanted to film this now because a baby could be coming at any point, which is so exciting. So yes, this is our first baby, our first child, my first pregnancy. Definitely have learned a lot, and third trimester has been a great teacher. So there's a lot I'd like to share, and I also posted on Instagram asking for you all to send in questions, anything about birth or labor, pregnancy or labor that you wanted to know. So I'll be answering questions as well, and I took some notes on things to cover. So let's just get right into the video. Thank you for being here. So third trimester definitely is an adjustment. I think physically is probably the most noticeable thing. First trimester for me was very mental, and then also extreme nausea, but like very mental and extreme hormones is just a huge adjustment. And then second trimester was just like feeling great, so much energy. Like that's when your blood flow, no, what is it? You have like the most blood circulating in your body or something, so you feel really good and you're just moving and you're not too big, so you're like more agile and yeah, pretty balanced mood-wise. So second trimester just kind of like flowed by, and then third trimester is more like going inward and getting ready for labor, and you're getting a lot bigger and sleep is harder, and it's just, yeah, much more physical, I think. Just some notes on some things that I noticed in case this is helpful for you. I love these kind of videos. I love learning from other mamas just to know, yeah, hear their stories and have it help me. So hopefully this is helpful. The biggest thing I've noticed is my back and hips get so sore from sleeping. Like I wake up like almost limping because I'm so sore. And chiropractic care really helps with that. I've been getting chiropractic adjustments pretty much every week probably since second trimester, which has been a huge blessing and very helpful. So I highly recommend, especially if you're having back pain, like just go do the chiropractor. It will help so much, and it also helps baby get into a good position. So yes, and walking and stretching also is very helpful. I always try to stretch it out, but I got a baby bub pregnancy pillow, and I actually really don't like it. So I don't use it, and so I just use a regular, like I sleep on my normal pillow, and then I use a regular like queen size pillow just on my belly, and then I put my leg up on that. And so I am aware that it's probably not the best pillow situation, but for some reason I'm just like stubborn. I'm like, pregnancy's almost over, whatever, next pregnancy I'll order a better pregnancy pillow. So I think if I had a better pillow I wouldn't wake up so sore. So I don't know, but it has gotten to the point, like it's just because your belly is so big and there's such a big weight, that the weight of your belly shifting your hips and your pelvis all night while you're sleeping, like it's putting a strain on your hips. So then you wake up and you're like, ow. So that's been a big thing. At times even would prevent me from sleeping because it would just be so uncomfortable, and I would end up having to sit up and just like try and meditate and hope that I would fall back asleep. But sleeping in general has been the hardest part of third trimester. Yeah, for sure, for me. And I get up at least 5 times a night to go pee, but it doesn't really bother me at all anymore. I'm just used to it. Just get up, go pee, and then fall right back asleep. But sometimes I will end up staying awake, like I'm just a bit more wired. And I also wake up quite early, I can't sleep in, and I wake up super hungry. So the sleeping schedule is very different, and everyone says that that's because it's helping you prepare for having a newborn, because you're going to be woken up a lot. So that's cool. My body's already doing that, but it's also funny because it's like you need the sleep the most because you're about to go through this whole huge labor and huge, you know, life will never be the same and you'll be waking up all the time and you'll be tired. So it's like just funny that it is designed that you're a little bit tired going into it. But yeah, taking naps is great too. Whenever I'm feeling tired, I'll just take a nap and that really helps. So sleeping has definitely been the hardest part for me. So I definitely recommend investing in a great sleeping pillow, pregnancy pillow that you like, and just sticking with it. I don't like the Baby Bub one personally. That's one I got, doesn't really work for me. So that's, I guess, my complaint. If I'm gonna be a complainer, that's what I would say. But overall, I've been so grateful and pleased with how my body has adjusted to pregnancy and just getting bigger, and I've gained 20 pounds, more than that. I'm 160 now and I started at 137, so a little more than 20 pounds, which I think is amazing. Like I love seeing this number go up on the scale because I know that my baby's growing and gaining weight and my body is adjusting and doing all the things it needs to do. And so I've just been really proud of my body for this whole adjustment and this whole transition, because I feel like I've been carrying pregnancy very well and feeling really good overall. So I'm very grateful. I'll talk about that more in a bit, because there's definitely are some things I've been doing to help myself and support my body into feeling good, because if you don't you have to be really intentional about what you eat. And you know, supplements and minerals and habits, because it's easy to feel depleted, I think, if you don't do that. But I'll talk about that more later. Something else physical that's really cool, just to report, my colostrum came in last week at 38 weeks, which is just, it was so amazing. I was so excited, like, to see now that my boobs are functioning as a like source of life. It's amazing. I just thought that was so cool. And then I started having Braxton Hicks contractions, like practice contractions, last week as well. So I've been having those somewhat consistently. Like the last couple days I've been having them on and off, especially in the evenings, and it just feels like twinges in the cervix, and also period cramping is an accurate way to describe it. And then I also have some more like back pain and pain in my like upper leg groin area. Kind of interesting. So just cool to see and to know that my body's preparing for labor, and all signs are pointing towards labor, which is really cool. And I get excited, like whenever I feel a twinge, I'm like, oh my god. So cool. Other physical things, sex is very interesting at this point in pregnancy, and it's so, you know, kind of funny because like I'm really craving intimacy at this point. Like all I want to do is cuddle up with Sage and just like be super intimate and sensual, and like in that zone of love and connection, because I think that's what brings on labor, and that's what encourages, you know, an easeful labor, is that like just intimacy. But like the physical part of actually having sex at this point is like really funny. It's comical. It's not like I am not limber, so I have to like be propped up on pillows, and there's only like one position really that works, and it's just kind of comical, but it also is really beautiful. And I've just been really wanting to have a lot of sex, because I feel like it literally does encourage labor. Semen softens the cervix. It's a great way to get your body into labor, get it going, get it moving, and also pleasure and arousal and orgasm move labor along and encourage all of it. So it's such a great thing to be doing, I think, at this very end stage of pregnancy. Other things I've noticed that I wrote down, my energy and my body feel good. Like I haven't really noticed a big difference in the last month of pregnancy versus 30 weeks to 34 weeks. Like I haven't noticed it being any more uncomfortable, I guess. It's like I'm bigger, but it doesn't feel that different. It just, I think, was the adjustment from like yeah, 30 to 34 weeks when you start getting pretty big, and like at that point too, your lungs are kind of cramped and things are just like a little, you can't really eat, and now baby's dropped down so I actually can eat again, which is so nice. So that's cool. And also energy wise, everyone I've heard like, oh my god, you're just exhausted third trimester, like before baby comes you're just so exhausted and so tired, and I haven't felt that, and I really do think it's because of how I'm taking care of my body and what I'm focusing on. I don't believe any of us are stuck in any sort of story, you know, like I think that's a very common thing for a lot of women, and also our education around how to nourish ourselves is like so poor in our culture. So I think minerals and protein is the biggest thing, especially minerals. I notice if I don't have my minerals, I just have these trace mineral drops, which I'll link them down below. I add them to my tea or my water or whatever, and if I don't have those regularly, I do notice a difference. And once I have it, I'm like, ta-da! Like I can feel everything being replenished. And if I don't have protein regularly, like a lot of protein, 40 grams of protein in the morning, like getting enough protein, I notice I feel depleted. And just not eating regularly, I'll feel depleted, I'll feel exhausted. So it's really important to eat, and it's really important to eat good whole foods that nourish your body and your baby. Something else, I guess that's more emotional, energetic, is that I really want everything, especially in the last few days, I want everything to be very clean and neat and like buttoned up and tidy and just so put away. We cleaned out this front room, trying to make it as cute as possible, because if you follow my channel, you know I was hoping to have our labor in our house that we're building, but it's not going to be finished in time. So just trying to get this rental, this super old farmhouse rental, looking like somewhat cozy and homey. So yeah, just doing my best with that. But we cleared out this whole front room, got rid of all the clutter in here, took everything off that was extra, and just like made it minimal and more cozy. And that feels really good because we're gonna have the birth tub up here. So just wanting everything to be like, okay, situated, neat, looks good, like don't need to think about it anymore, can just like go into labor land. Other emotional things I've noticed, which I've heard from my friends, this is super common, is I don't want to be away from Sage at this point in pregnancy. I just don't want to be far away from him. Like, yeah, I want to be near him. I don't want to drive anywhere without him. I want to be in the car with him. I want to do errands with him, and I want to stay close to home. Like I really don't want to leave the house, right? Like it doesn't really feel good to leave the house unless Sage is with me, but even then I'm like, just want to stay home, which makes so much sense because like when you're about to approach labor, it could be any day. You want your partner there, your like protector. If you think about back in the day, like if you're gonna go birth in a cave, like your partner would be the one literally like blocking the cave entrance, making sure no freaking like wolves came in and tried to eat your placenta or something. Like it's so primal. So it makes a lot of sense, I think, that I'm feeling this way, and it's just fascinating to see that because I'm such an independent person, and of course I love spending time with Sage, but normally I'm like, oh yeah, solo coffee date. Now I'm like, no, I don't want to drive anywhere by myself. I want to be with my husband. So it's nice to feel that too. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of tears in this last little bit, like everything's very close to the surface, a lot of big emotional releases, and just letting things come up, like a lot of deep emotional releases from things in the past, or grief about losing my mom, or just all these things like come up and just are released. So I think that's really common as well, and it's also beautiful to know that it's like clearing space for labor and for baby. Okay, so now I'm gonna get into the questions that y'all asked, and they're really great, beautiful questions, so thank you to everyone who asked. A couple of people asked what's my birth plan, so I'll say that really quickly if you haven't seen my other videos. We're planning a home birth here, probably in this room, and I have some amazing midwives, Karina and Serena. They work at the farm I don't know if that's really the right way to say it, but if you've ever read any of Ina May Gaskin's books, she's a huge pioneer in natural birth, spiritual midwifery. She founded the Farm Midwifery Clinic, and that's where my midwives work and were trained, and you know, all of that. So I'm so lucky to work with the farm midwives, and yeah, really grateful for the level of care that they give, because it's so different than what is commonplace these days. Like, we belly dance and drink tea and share about our feelings in our women's circles, and just talk about, you know, sex and intimacy and all the things. It's just such amazing care. So yeah, I have my 2 midwives, and Sage's mom will be here as well. She gets here today, which I'm so excited. So it'll be Sage's mom, and then my 2 midwives. And planning to do, I'd like to have a water birth if it feels good. I think that's such a nice, gentle way for baby to come into the world. But yeah, home birth with my midwives. And I definitely am open to doing a free birth in the future for future pregnancies, future babies. I think I really would like to do that. But for this first one, I think it'll be nice to have some support. But I do want a very hands-off birth in terms of like my midwives. Hi, Apollo. I don't want them to, like, I want it to be me, you know, me pulling baby up, me, if there's a cord, unwrapping the cord. It's very common to have a cord around the neck when the baby comes out. Like, if there's fluid that needs to be sucked out, I want to do that myself with my mouth. Like, all these natural instincts that will kick in if you're left to it oftentimes. I really want to do that. So my midwives are very cool and very empowering, which is really important to me. And I think I have a feeling for a lot of it too, I'll just want to be by myself. Just want to labor by myself, like go in my closet and just put on headphones and like go in the zone. So we'll see. A few people asked if I'm going to be filming the birth. Definitely want to have like the big moments filmed. We're going to set up like a camera and phone video, probably both going. And I would like to get some, you know, some clips, but I'm also not going to put like pressure on it. I don't, like, we're not hiring a professional. I don't want anybody extra there, and I don't want to be vlogging myself. I just want to be focused on the birth. So there probably will be some footage and some things to share, which I'm super open to sharing with whatever we do have, because I love those kind of videos and they're so helpful. But it probably won't be like a, you know, I don't know. We'll see what we get. But I definitely want, you know, the moment filmed for sure. And I'll do a video sharing my whole birth story as well after. A lot of people asked about the names, like quite a few people, if we have any names picked out or how the process was about picking out a name. And we do have one main name. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl. I really feel like it's a boy. So the name that we have is for a boy. But we do have a list of some names that we like for a girl as well. And we'll really see. It's not set in stone, because obviously I want to know who this being is before we give him or her a name. But either way, like, we want to feel into the energy of this child before we're giving a name, and like meet them and see, like, look in their eyes and be like, okay, yes, it's you, or no, we need a different name. So we'll see. And yeah, I'll share the name when we know it, when baby's here. But we do have one main name, and I heard that name in a meditation almost a year before I was pregnant, with like a whole visual of our son. So it's been in my field for a while. I got a few questions about what would I say to someone who's hoping to get pregnant soon, which is such a great question. I would say to tune into your feminine, to tune into the activities that make you feel really abundant and flowy and creative and connected to your body. I think that's one of the most important things, is feeling connected to your body, because that's where this baby will live, and the body is the feminine, the mind's the masculine. So really coming into your body, prioritizing nutrition, prioritizing balancing your hormones, getting rid of hormone disruptors like perfumes, fragrances in laundry soap, Glade, like those Glade plug-in thingies are one of the worst things for your hormones. Just going natural, really. Like if you're serious about conceiving, I would just encourage to take out any products that are toxic in your life, and people, anything that's toxic in your life. Going natural, slowing down, getting in your body, and focusing on your nutrition, making sure you're getting enough protein, making sure you're eating whole foods, taking out processed foods. All these things really do add up, and they really are important. And I think your pregnancy is very much related to your health, obviously. So just being like, if you really want to have a baby and you want to give this baby everything, which I know every mom does, like you really want to give your baby everything, like that actually starts with prioritizing your own well-being in like a really deep way. Like, okay, this is my favorite perfume, but I notice that whenever I spray it, I get a headache, and I notice that it has all of these ingredients that are actually super toxic. Like, can I let this go? What does that look like? Letting things go that might be harming you, even if it's in a small way. That's something that I would say. And if you're having trouble, going to naturopath that specializes in hormone health, getting blood work done specifically for your hormones, because normally doctors, like, they don't check the same things that if you're going to a specialist, they will check like full panel of your hormones and see what's going on. And yeah, taking care of your adrenals, that's a huge one. Your thyroid, I feel like it's such a huge piece of health overall. It's so important, so you're not in fight or flight. Your body's managing stress, your body's managing your hormones correctly. So yeah, I highly recommend Thyroid Plus. My friend Noelle has an amazing supplement. I take it every day. It's like they sell out all the time. It's #1 product. It's so good. So if you have any hormonal problems, energy problems, I would highly recommend checking out Thyroid Plus. I will link it down below. And I'm also going to be taking that postpartum. It's one of the best, things to do for yourself when there's all the hormonal ups and downs. It's going to be interesting. We'll see. Getting serious about your health, honestly, that's like the #1 thing, because all of this is taxing on the body. It can be. You are literally creating a life. This life is feeding off of you. Like, if you are not nourished, baby is going to, well, either way, baby's going to take from you. Whatever baby needs, baby's going to take from your body. So if you're not on it with your nourishment, you're going to feel bad. And I've experienced that firsthand when I'm not taking care of myself or eating enough protein or doing all the things. Like, it's intense. So prioritizing your health, that is #1, and praying about it and envisioning it and dreaming into it, and sitting and just like connecting with the spirit of this baby and telling this spirit that we want to meet, like, I want you to be here. I want to meet you. I want to be your mom. I'm ready for you. We're ready. Like, just opening that communication, I really think is helpful and works. I definitely did that, and we got pregnant on the first try. So there's a lot of factors that go into that, but I think it's such a magical process. It's so magical. Quite a few people asked what I am scared or nervous for, if anything. Overall, I feel really good and confident about labor in terms of just trusting my body. Like, I really do trust this ancient natural process. Like, we give birth. That is what happens. That's how we're all here. So I really do have so much respect and like trust and love for my body in this process. And I don't feel scared about the pain or labor. I feel like I have a good I've been in situations where things are painful and where things are uncomfortable, and I've been able to deal with them well mentally. I think meditation really helps with that, being in the discomfort and seeing it, but not being consumed by it. So I feel good about all that. It's really interesting place to be in. Like, I've definitely gone through waves of feeling a little anxious about this or that, but it's usually smaller details. I'm like, oh, we haven't gotten the coconut water in the mail yet. Like, I need the coconut water for the labor. Like, all these random little details that don't actually matter that much, but for some reason add like little anxieties of just wanting everything to be set up and ready, I think is what it is. But I've definitely gone through a whole process, like just letting go of having the birth in the barn that we're building, the house that we're building, just being here. Now I feel super open. And once Sage's mom's here, that's kind of like the last, like Sage is like, baby, please wait until my mom gets here. It's because she's going to be such a huge help. So, yeah, I just feel open. I don't feel scared. I really do trust that I know how to give birth when left uninterrupted and undisturbed, and when I feel safe, and that's how I'm setting up my birth, to feel safe and undisturbed. And yeah, it's amazing. I have amazing friends too, community nearby, who have had incredible home births. Multiple people have had like 4 or 5 hour first labors, no pain or little pain, and just beautiful outcomes. So I have a lot of great examples, and yeah, we'll see. Someone asked, how are you dealing with body image changes? I struggled a lot as a new mama. That's a great question. Like I mentioned earlier, I've really been like happy when I've gained weight, which is fun to like flip that kind of narrative in my mind. Like, it just, I know that my baby's growing, and I'm happy about that. And I love like the big belly. I think it's so beautiful, and overall my body really doesn't look that different. Like, my arms and legs aren't really different. My butt is totally gone because I haven't been doing like, squats or whatever. It's just living, so my butt is like super flat. But I don't really care. It'll come back when I start working out again. I think the thing that actually has been like the biggest thing to cope with or just adjust to is my boobs. My boobs are so big. I went up like 3 cup sizes in pregnancy, and my milk hasn't fully come in yet, so it's probably gonna go up again. And I just think it's been an adjustment. Like, they're just so big and they're heavy, and they just are like such a presence that I've been adjusting to that, because I definitely don't feel like small anymore in any type of way. I feel like voluptuous and big and like fertile, which is awesome. But it's a shift, because I think before this I was always very toned and like lean and small. I wouldn't wear a bra. I'd just wear like a little tank top and whatever. But now it's different, and I think at this point I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, I'm loving it. I'm finding clothes that work, and I'm so grateful that these boobs are gonna feed my baby. So, but that's probably been the biggest adjustment. And I'll have to share more postpartum once I experience that, because I'm sure there will be lots of different stages and waves. I can't even imagine how it's gonna feel to not have a baby in my stomach anymore and just see that whole transformation. It's gonna be quite a journey, I'm sure. Someone asked if I could share about my birth necklace idea. So at my baby blessing, I had all my ladies, my gals, bring a bead that that would be specifically for this birth necklace. And during the baby blessing, we all like prayed and meditated and visualized my birth. I like spoke aloud what I was envisioning for the birth, and they all kind of like held that vision and infused it into the bead. And so I'm putting a necklace together with all of their beads and all of their blessings and all of their visualizations, and I'm gonna wear that during labor, or at least have it near me. I might want to take it off at some point, but it's gonna be, yeah, gonna be with me, and I'm just gonna be looking at it and feeling all of their love and all of their support and all of their blessings. And I think it's super powerful, and the beads are all so unique and so beautiful. A lot of crystal beads, and one is from Dubai and one's from Egypt. Like, they're just these amazing stories. So I think it's a really cool idea. I did not make this up. This is a tradition that I'm not quite sure where it originated, but in the kind of folk women, like pagan traditions, it's pretty well known. Like Sage's mom did the same thing. And you can look up more about it online, but I think it's a really cool idea. If anyone wants to do it, highly recommend. It's just nice to have that, like knowing that you're surrounded, and it's so symbolic. Like, I'm doing it on a red thread, like red is the blood, red is the feminine, and it's in a circle, and the circle is the earth, and the earth is the feminine. And if you're imagining you're birthing and you have a circle of women surrounding you, and like the circle of your entire like mother line surrounding you, and all of your ancestors and all of the women who have ever birthed, and it's just so beautiful. So I really think it's a great idea. Someone asked, what has Sage been doing that has made pregnancy more easeful or more challenging? Also, have the pregnancy emotions cause struggles in your relationship? I definitely notice I'm a bit more, if I'm not rested, like if I'm tired, if I didn't sleep well and then I didn't take a nap, I'm a bit more like snappy than I normally would be. And I'm very mindful of it. So I'm like, you know, I'm watching it and I'm trying to like come back in my center and breathe, but I'm a bit more snappy. And I think I just really am craving presence. Like, I need presence. If you're going to be in the room with me, like, I need you to be present with me emotionally, like physically, like I need you locked in. So there's a lot going on in Sage's world right now in the external. So that's been challenging, just to be like needing him to be here with me all the time when there's just so much going on, and he has a lot going on in his mind. So it's been yeah, challenging at times, but our communication is good, and we love each other, and it's all good. But I think, yeah, not having presence is like the #1 trigger for me getting grumpy. Like, I'm like, I need you here. I need you here with me, fully with me. If you're going to be in the room, like, be with me. So, yeah, and the little simple thoughtful things have meant so much. Like, I was taking a bath the other day. I've been taking them every day pretty much, listening to my birth playlist and just visualizing, getting in the zone. And he brought in some orange juice for me, like, just so cute. So simple, but just little things like that, of like, or he'll rub my feet or rub my shoulders. Or the other night I was like, oh, I would love to have some like blackberry syrup on ice cream, and he's like, oh, I'll make it for you. So like, just very thoughtful things like that really mean a lot, and I think go a long way. Yeah. Last question is, what are you doing with your placenta? Sorry if that's a weird question. They said not a weird question. I have debated a bit about it, and I initially thought I was going to encapsulate it to take postpartum, but after sitting with it more, I actually would like to offer it to our land. That feels good to me. Offer it in the 4 directions, north, east, south, west, 4 corners of our land, and that just feels good. But I am going to keep a little bit. I'm going to keep like a small amount and freeze it for me. So if I'm like feeling really depleted, or my hormones are super all over the place, or you know, sick or something like that, I'll have a little bit and I'm gonna put it in a smoothie and eat it. So that's where I'm at. I just feel that offering my placenta, baby's placenta, to our land is like one of the biggest and most what's the word? Biggest, most significant offering that I could give to the land, who's giving us so much, and we will be there and raise our family there, and our family's family, and all the generations. And so I just feel, I'm like, this is something that I can give to the land, and so I really want to give it and honor the land that way. So that's what I'm gonna do. a lot of my friends have done the encapsulation or turned it into salves and things. And yeah, I just am gonna have it in a smoothie and offer it to the land. That is this video. Thank you so much for listening, for asking questions. I hope that this was helpful or just entertaining at least. And thank you all for being so sweet and supportive throughout this pregnancy. And I cannot wait until baby's here. It's gonna be so incredible, and I can't wait to share my birth story too. Cannot wait. We'll see. Baby could come anytime. I'm let's see, how many days? 8 days away from my due date as of today. So we shall see. I hope you all are doing very well. Sending you lots of love wherever you are, and I will talk to you soon. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like.